The caucus meeting?
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye. So, what we get, public comment now? Is that what we're working?
Well,
Because you had them all, right? Jen? Yeah.
Could I ask everybody to really make an effort to speak into the microphone, except you, Nick, you don't need to.
sure.
So make a motion to open up to the public, comment on the caucus meeting only, caucus agenda only?
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye. Make a motion to close the public portion?
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye. Make a motion to adjourn the caucus meeting? Right? No?
Don't you have to
Yeah.
do the resolutions?
Oh, we're still
No,
in
we're still
caucus.
in caucus.
Oh, okay, that's right, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you do what happened.
What happens when you sit in a different chair? I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
This meeting was called for Monday, January 2nd, 2023 at 7:30 p.m. at Borough Hall located at 77 Summit Hill Road, Spotswood, New Jersey, pursuant to the provisions of the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10-4-8B. The public may choose to attend this meeting electronically via Zoom. This meeting was advertised on the Spotswood website and in the Home News Tribune.
Councilman Kramer?
Here.
Microphone,
Sorry.
thank you.
Councilman Lesko?
Here.
Councilwoman Schwartz?
Here,
Councilman Zaborni?
Here.
And Council President Legakis?
Here,
Mayor Palmer? Here.
may we stand up and salute the flag?
All right, we have a set of minutes on the agenda from the December 12th, 2022 caucus and regular meetings.
Make a motion to accept the minutes from the December 12th caucus?
Seconded.
Councilman Kramer?
Yes.
Councilman Lesko?
Yes.
Councilwoman Schwartz?
abstain.
Councilman Zaborni?
Yes.
And Council President Legakis?
Abstain.
Make a motion to move December 12th regular meeting minutes? Second?
Councilman Kramer?
Yes.
Councilman Lesko?
Yes.
Councilwoman Schwartz?
Abstain.
And Councilman Zaborni?
Yes.
And Council President Legakis?
Abstain.
I'll take a motion to pass ordinance 2023-1 on first reading, public hearing set for January 23rd, 2023.
Make a motion to adopt the ordinance on first reading, set a public hearing for January 23rd?
Seconded.
Councilman Kramer?
Yes.
Councilman Lesko?
Yes.
Councilwoman Schwartz?
Although I don't have any discrepancies, I'm going to abstain for legal reasons.
Councilman Zaborni?
Yes.
And Council President Legakis?
Yes.
Okay. I'll take a motion to accept resolutions 2023-1 through 2023-36.
Make a motion to move resolutions 2023-1 through 2023-36?
Seconded.
Councilman Lesko?
Yes.
Councilman Kramer?
Yes.
Councilwoman Schwartz?
Yes.
Councilman Zaborni?
Yes.
And Council President Legakis?
Yes. We'll open it up for the council to make some comments. So with, Dawn? Councilman Schwartz, any comments?
I just want to say that I want to thank the public for having a little bit of patience and saying that being a new councilwoman, there are questions that I will have and things that will need to be looked at, and I appreciate you all giving us the time to have a private meeting to discuss that before coming back to public. I'd also like to say congratulations to everybody, because I don't think I did that before. So congratulations to everybody, Councilman Kramer and Councilman Legakis and Councilman Zaborni. That's it. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you.
Councilman Kramer?
I have nothing to say at this time.
Yeah, I want to make a couple comments. One, I'm happy we passed resolution 2023, 32, grant consultant work. Hopefully working with that firm, we can find some new opportunities to improve our borough through receiving new grants. And then second comment, to wrap up 2022, we had many holiday events in town, many Christmas events such as the Christmas house decorating contest, which I had the pleasure of judging this year, and it was another great success for the people who signed up. The winners all put on great displays, and I look forward to Halloween next year and Christmas next year to do it again. And that's all I got.
Councilman Zaborni?
Happy New Year, everybody. Once again, welcome to all the new council members and returning council member. And thank you for everybody's trust and support. I always promote the St. Peter's Thrift. Please check them out. Really nice organization over there. The library, don't forget to renew your library cards. They have pet programs coming up. Rec soccer is coming up. Please check out the Spotswood Recreation website as well. And many great events happening around our borough. And in the coming weeks and months, I'm gonna bring some more information regarding the Spotswood Museum idea I introduced a while back. So I'm looking for some opinions on that as well. So, thank you.
Thank you. And I just want to again say thank you, echo Councilwoman Schwartz's thank you for being patient during that closed session and sticking around, and just want to thank everyone again. Wish you a happy new year, and I look forward to serving up here for all of you. Thank you.
I'll take a motion to.
Mayor?
Mayor?
Sorry. Still one of the reasons I sit here, so I can be like, I'm just kidding. Again, to echo Councilman Lesko's comments, we've had we wrapped up a really tremendous December full of great events. We did our very first, and Councilman Zaborni attended as well, our very first menorah lighting. So Councilman, thank you for attending. We had a handful of us out there. Hopefully, as we continue to do it, it's the first time we've ever done it in Spotswood. The rabbi was over the moon excited to do that here in Spotswood. So we're happy that happened, and we had some very, very delicious kosher donuts, right? That came from Lakewood. They were like Adam's World good. So we're looking forward to adding yet another, opportunity for us to be, all-inclusive in this borough and learn how to celebrate other things outside of what we normally do. So I wanted to just bring that to the attention. We closed out the end of this year tremendously as far as, the work that we've gotten done, and I appreciate the support of everyone as we have a lot more work to do as we move forward and work for our residents, which is what we're all put here. So happy New Year. will open the Prosecco after the meeting, because I did bring in to toast all of you to say congratulations and Happy New Year, so, and cookies, please eat cookies.
Thank you.
I'll make a motion to open up to the public for comment.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Chuck Hager, 65 Rimmon Drive. I just want to say thank you so much for all of you serving either in new roles or continued roles for our borough. I see what less than an hour of communication can do, and I think that's fabulous also. And I can really encourage you all to continue having communications so that we have more and more done for the good of our town. Thank you.
Thank you, Chuck.
Lorraine Sardone, Reeder Road. I don't know if any of you can help me. I live on Manalapan Brook, and the brook is used for flood control. And because it is used for flood control, we have a lot of downed trees. Once the trees are down, they cause water dams, and it's flooding our properties. So who is responsible to keep the waterway clear? Is it the town? Is it the county? On the other side of the brook, it's Monroe. So who do we see to take care of this problem? Does anybody know?
Can you answer that question?
Yeah, I am the waiver council president, this is his meeting. So that is the County Flood Control Commission. Ryan and I have reached out a few times regarding, you're not the first complaint. We do see what's happening over there. I did take a ride back there. The Reeder Road Park back there gets a little messy, swampy back there. So it is something that we've been taking a look at. We've discussed numerous, it does have to do with all those waterways that come all the way from, down that way from way up in Millstone.
Millstone is where it
Yeah.
originates, yes.
So it's a whole big, there's the Army Corps of Engineers has been involved, we've had the engineering company, we've worked with, so I would probably ask that the engineers, potentially reach out to the Flood Control Commission again and let them know that we have some significant issues over there, in your area.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lauren.
Diane Charlesworth, Old Stage Road. Back in July of 2019, Donna Falconberry, the highly qualified former director of the Office on Aging, made a post on Facebook, on the Office on Aging page, regarding some seniors who had gone to visit friends, I guess, either in a rehab situation or a nursing home. At any rate, they went and took pictures and whatnot. And Mr. Ronco responded to that by putting up a tap into link to the Spotswood Borough Council meeting. And I asked him what his comment had to do with the post and what it had to do with the senior center, told him it was inappropriate. And he responded that it's a government page. He also responded that he didn't care that I or anybody else would be upset by him making an inappropriate comment on the Office on Aging page. And he put it up there to spread awareness, as not everyone goes to the meetings. And he said he couldn't start a post on the page. He told me to take a hike, and he told me that he will post whatever the F he wanted to. Donna Falconberry resented the fact that he used vulgarity on her page, and she took the post down. And within about a half an hour or so, Mr. Ronco stormed into her office and started screaming at her that she had no right to do that it was a government page, and because of that, she was forced to keep that post on the Office on Aging page. She called, I guess the attorney at the time was Mr. Deignan, and he didn't get back to her very quickly with an answer. So she left it up just in case. As it turned out, she went on to make several other posts in July, and he posted the same link to onto those posts. Fast forward to December 20th of this year, and the Spotswood Municipal Alliance made a post on the We Are Spotswood page regarding their home decorating contest. And one of the lines in the post said that all proceeds would go to the Municipal Alliance, because they were charging $1 for the People's Choice Award for people to be able to vote. And I asked what the proceeds were going to be used for. And within 2 hours, the post was removed. So I went to the Spotswood Municipal Alliance page, because the same post was there, and asked the same question. And again, the post was removed. Finally, the next day on the 21st of December, I went to the mayor's page, because she had put something up similar, and asked her that question as well. It took her 12 hours to give me an answer. The answer that she gave me was nebulous, to say the best, the least. So my question is, have the rules changed? If you're a government entity and you make a post, are you allowed to take it down now when you weren't before?
Vicki, can you answer that
Sure,
question?
of course I can.
Since I was not-
Okay, so I am at a disadvantage because I don't know about all the posts, I don't have the information from me, so I can't apply, but there is a social media policy in place. It's one of the first things I looked at when I did become borough attorney, because social media tends to be,
Contentious.
yes, it's not my favorite thing in terms of, and it's something that my advice to a borough is always to have one page, and that's where all your stuff goes on. To your point, and our policies in place, it doesn't allow deletions or anything like that. So there is the policy you have here is actually excellent, so I thought that would be one of the first things I had to tinker with. Nope. So it's a good policy, and if something is brought to my attention, I don't know about deletions or whatnot, I'd have to look at it, but I'd have to make sure it's a government page. I heard some things about non-government pages versus government pages. I can't comment on that right now, but it's something we could always look into. But you can't delete comments
Okay.
unless there's a legal reason to do so, which I can't comment on because I don't know what it was.
Okay,
Like
so
someone's threatening someone, we're gonna delete it. If you're putting, someone's addresses up, like, there's a whole host of laws out there right now, that we're all dealing with. And there's even legislation being proposed to be able to protect public officials'
Right.
addresses from being anywhere on the internet. I gotta look at that. So I can't answer it without having all the facts, but I can tell you we have a social media policy in place.
So
It
going
is
forward,
consistent.
no
No,
post will be deleted, is what you're saying?
I don't know about going behind either, because I don't know what post was or was not deleted, if there was one, so I can't even comment on, but I don't have the facts.
Unfortunately, I'm not tech savvy enough to know how to take a screenshot. That's one of my things to learn this year, so I wasn't able to do that.
So, yeah, so that I can't comment unless I have the facts and the information in front of me to tell you what is consistent with the policy. What I can assure you is that the policy that's in place here is a very good policy. And it
So
should be
the
applied.
policy that's in place is that no government page is allowed to delete posts.
No, I just told you that there might be situations.
Unless there's vulgarity or.
And I'm sure that I would get contacted before that would happen.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Diane.
Tom Guzbowski, 304 Brunswick Avenue. I want to address this to the mayor first, and everybody else in the room that has heard this, because it's been bugging me for months. Now, I've been in, what's that? Well, I'm here. There was a lot of talk in this town about we needed office space, we needed more office space, we needed more office space. And then one day we hear that mysteriously there was a water leak upstairs. And this is my point. I've been in everyday residential homes, I've been in industrial buildings, I've been in firehouses, I've been in almost any kind of building and seen plumbing, piping, everything else. I cannot believe that anybody in this town believes the story and can show me this utility sink that, mind you now, paper towels or toilet paper fell off a shelf, came down, turned the faucet on, filled it up, and flooded the place. And my other point then is, we paid big money when an electrician that we know came in here and put cameras all through this place. Then they voted again to get more cameras. So my point is, who was in the utility room that threw the stuff in there or did this? And we have a police department downstairs all day or at night. They didn't see or hear any of this stuff. Don't they come through here and look around? Isn't that what you pay police for?
So since I was not on council and you did address the mayor, I will ask Mayor Palmer to address your question.
So,
Please elaborate.
so, believe me, at 4 o'clock in the morning, when the police showed up at my house to pick me up to tell me there was a flood in the building, I had the exact same thing that you said. And we kept that bucket of toilet paper for about 4 weeks upstairs, because every person who came upstairs were like, oh no, this is what was in there. I agree with you, Tom, but I can tell you that the police, that the DPW, police, those doors, believe it or not, were locked. There were 3 doors locked. So the supply closet is locked where the sink is. The closet, the door to the kitchenette was locked, because we've been locking all the doors, because we were having some concerns with, people potentially going upstairs when the building was closed.
Well, obviously somebody was upstairs. And
We're
a
being
lock-
told absolutely
And a
not.
locked
The
door would
cameras-
secure that what you want to
Correct,
accomplish.
there were 3 locked
It's
doors.
like setting a bomb.
There were 3 locked doors. The cameras were checked, the cameras were reviewed. There was no foul play that was relayed to us. Believe me, I didn't believe it. We actually reenacted it twice, and we got it to work.
And let me ask you this, because all the utility sinks I've ever seen in my life, there's actually 3 styles of faucets. In a hospital, they use feet pedals, so you don't have to touch anything for sanitary
Paddles.
reasons, paddles. On the top of a normal utility sink, like in your basement, the old style ones, like with the concrete tubs, you grab the handles, you pull them towards you. To the wall, it's off. On the other style, the last ones, they come up or down. So explain to me how a roll of toilet paper fell above this thing, hit it, bounced, and turned this thing on.
I'm gonna explain it to you, Tom, and you're not gonna believe
Is
me.
this sink still up here?
So it was taken out because we've redone where that, so I could show you the actual sink. So yes, but the handles were the second scenario that you made, right? So they went like this to open them. And I would believe if the cold water were turned on. So what had happened, the shelf was on the right-hand side of the sink. The handles, my thought is that maybe when the cleaning people were here, they didn't tighten it totally off, shut it. The toilet paper legitimately fell off. There's a drain pipe that's next to it. It hit the pipe and hit the water and landed in the sink. Turned that water on, I don't know how hard it was or whatever, but it was hot water. And the reason that we knew it was the hot water is because it was steamy when they found it upstairs. When they opened those doors, it was hot water that came out. So the problem is we don't know how long it was running. We don't know if it was a trickle or if it was a full-blown, turn it on. I have to imagine it was somewhere in between. The reason it wasn't noticed is because the water did not come out of any locked office. No locked space until they opened the door, until the ceiling in the police department fell in. Because the water had been running, so the ceiling tiles in the ceiling in the police department fell in.
Well,
That's how they knew.
I was told the door to that room has a couple-inch gap under it.
The door to the room itself did not.
Oh, there's an inner
So there's a
room?
closet door, there's a room door, and then there was a copy room door. So the copy room was in between.
The Gap did not, when they opened the door to the kitchenette area, they went through the copy room door, unlocked that one, opened up the door to the kitchenette room, and the water flowed out of there as if there was an explosion of inches of water. Now, the water had flown all under the walls into the other spaces. The entire upstairs across from the finance department had been compromised with water that had been sitting that we don't even know how long. It was a mess. And trust me, if I could pin that on somebody else, I would, but there has been I don't believe it either. Tom, and no joke, I thought about having the place saged and cleansed because there has to be a ghost or something, because it does make no sense as well. I agree with you.
And if I could just add as well, this process also went through the claims of our insurance, not just our insurance, but also their provider, Chubb. So there were 2 levels of insurance adjusters involved in this case. And, it is, I think we all understand it's a bizarre case. I can certainly say that nobody wanted it, that's for sure, so.
Okay, and now this is idle rumors brought to my attention because I voiced this to some people, and then this is it's something addressed to you. I was told when you had your campaign building out here, right after this happened, we needed office space. So is it true that you had a lease on this building for like 5 years?
No, that's not correct. I leased that for a year, and then the borough has been leasing that building now 2 years, I think. At least 2 years, or maybe a little bit less.
Well, it just seems.
A year, I think we're a year over.
About a year or so.
It
Yeah.
seems kind of funny that this happens up here and then all of a sudden we need the space over there.
We've had the space over
Yeah,
there.
we
We've
had
had
the
that
space
space over
before.
there for a year. This flood just happened.
July 31st, it was my mother's birthday, that's what I remember.
Right.
And then my other point is with all the office space anyway here, this town is 2 square miles. What do we need? And and our lawyer now has an office also?
No, I'm confused as to what information, who's feeding you any type of information. Vicky does not have an office here. We actually are so squeezed upstairs. Like I just said, we moved Jen and the clerk's office so that we could give counsel an actual council chambers. Because if you recall, Pat was in this little tiny office that was filled with paper all over the place. And we had to get her out of there, and we needed council to have a council chambers. Have we rearranged the space upstairs? Absolutely, because everybody didn't need an office. So now we have an open space where our part-time employees can come and utilize a desk and a phone and have file cabinets, as opposed to all these individual offices all over upstairs that we don't necessarily need. We have kept construction and DPW and water has been at 382 Main since, I believe,
It's a year and a half.
it's a year, at least
longer.
September, October, November of 2021, right? Is that right? Yeah. So they have been over there well before this flood ever happened. But I'm not sure who's giving you that information, but it's false. And as I've told you in the past,
There's a whole group of people that
Okay,
they're all inquiring about it. They're all
That's
like,
okay,
why don't you go to the meeting and address it? But once again, they want the answers and they're all afraid to come up and say anything.
Or I also consistently tell residents, and many residents have people come up and stop in mine and Ryan's office and ask 101 questions every week. If I'm up there and you see me in there, people stop me when they're paying their water bills. They're like, can I ask you a question about this? Can we see what's going on here? What's happening over this? Why does it look like that? How come that? We're more than happy to answer those questions. So at any given time, I urge people, don't hold your questions till a council meeting.
Well, we
All
couldn't
of a
get in,
sudden
because
ask
when
us.
they were doing that, you couldn't get in before up there, so.
I don't know, we've been working in chaos for quite a few months. It's been very hectic for us.
Okay, and then, all right, so I'll go with that for now. And then the other thing is, this Schweitzer's down here. It's gonna be I understand it's gonna be 100 bays for trucks to deliver them. Did they come up with a plan, or are they working right now on a plan? Because once again, and I'm sure Ms. Charlesworth can back it up, Old Stage Road is now trucks again. 65-foot tractor trailers. The wrecker guys from Trenton area are coming down to go to Marisat in Sayreville. They're running 2 or 3 cars at a time. It's any day, any time, day, night. It's all back like it was before. And I don't know why they're always sitting on New Brunswick Avenue, halfway down, stopping. Mrs. McGillicuddy, and I'm not saying she was the one stopped, I'm using that as a name, but they're going 27. Turn around, sit in front of my house if you want, and you'll pick them up. I called East Brunswick the other day because the sign at the end of the road was run down from an accident, and East Brunswick said, we didn't even know about it. Thank you. That's twice that's happened. The sign is now put back up to tell them. They really need a sign different than the truck sign they have. It shows you a little straight job. They need to show evidently because the truckers that we hire from a country that's like south of us that don't know what the tractor trailer is, I guess they think because the picture isn't there, they don't have to abide by it.
What was the question? Did
What
we
are
have
they-
a traffic study? Yes.
Yeah,
Do we have a?
when are they gonna get,
Yes.
and we have 2 extra policemen, do we not, from Helmeta? That we got
I
when
don't
we
know
took
that
over?
I don't know that you can ever say you have extra police of.
Well, we got, I'm saying, we had 2 officers that we took on from Helmeta, correct? Helmeta knows the truck regulations, because evidently our guys don't. So you get the 2 guys from Helmeta and let them run those roads, and you wanna get taxes lower here? When they start giving them the tickets for that stuff, you'll be getting lower taxes in this town. I told you that many times. They know what they're doing. They think as they put on their work lights and they're hauling 3 cars, well, I wanna get to Sayreville faster, so I'm just gonna do it. If the cop stops them and gives them a ticket and they're in this courtroom and they're getting fined, they're not gonna do that. The word gets out and they will avoid it like the plague. And it's gonna get worse now because Cranberry Road with all that going on, them warehouses, you're gonna be seeing that all the time.
We will absolutely continue to share your concerns with the police department. I can tell you from an 85 Main Street perspective, the developers they are going to actually be widening their side of the road there to accommodate allowing of traffic moving over there. There's been a full and complete traffic study that they've done with the county as well, because that is a county road.
Oh, in front of Schweitzer's? Well, they're not gonna let them park out in the road, right? Because years ago, we
No.
made an ordinance about that, right?
Yeah, no. So all of the loading of that 85 Main Street development, all loading is in the back. There is no, it's only parking, like car parking up front for people who work there. All loading is in the back of the building. They are widening their side of the road to accommodate a turn lane. And they're ensuring that the traffic flow we spent a lot of time on that, Tom. I did hear you in my head.
I think you're gonna end up, I think you're gonna end up getting rid of the red light down here, because they're gonna be ripping that thing out like crazy.
Oh, they do it already.
I know, but it's stupid. We keep fixing it, it
That
shouldn't even be
happens
there.
all the time.
They should re-engineer that. And then, the other thing I wanted to ask, your mom's in Clearwater, right?
Nope.
Oh, no, where'd she go? Okay, well,
Brad there.
so you don't go down that way?
I do.
Okay, did you see the 3 tractor trailers parked at the houses all
I
the
did
time?
not.
A red one, I think it's at 300 Manalapan. There's a black one, or that's the black one at 300. Then there's another one, and then there's another one down even a little further. And I brought this to attention plenty of times, where there's an ordinance about parking trucks overnight in the borough. Doesn't matter if it's on your property. It's a commercial vehicle. It can't be there.
Is this near the border of our town in Helmeta by any chance?
No, it's all Spotswood.
Okay, I know there's one issue that we're currently working on that's on the border of both of our towns. So I was just trying to find out if it was that one. I'm not aware of this particular instance.
I think the first one is about 6 or 7 houses past the Roncos.
Yes, exactly.
I've gone by and seen it too.
On the right,
On the right
Yeah.
hand side.
before you get to
They're
Clearwater.
all on the right.
Yes.
Before you get to Clearwater.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
before.
No, I just thought, because I said, well, when Mayor Policino was in, and there was the 65,000 pound rotator back in, what is it, Willard Clark? What's it?
Over in that area.
Yeah, and Marge Drew, who was a councilwoman too, she never saw, she lived on one end, he lived on the other. None of them saw that truck until I brought it to their attention, brought them pictures. So it's like, it's the same thing. They drive by every day, nobody sees this truck here, but I have these magical eyes that I just pick up on.
That's what we have for Tom.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Tom, thank you so much. We will share those concerns with the police department as well and continue to enforce. I know that they're in the process of procuring additional instruments to help do this important work as well. And so thank you for bringing it to our attention. If, sometimes we don't know, so thank you for that. And also additionally, I wanted to share just as a point of clarification, taxes this past year on the municipal side went down 0.5 percentage point. Unfortunately, we're not able to control the other entities who share tax levies, and some of them did go up. So just wanted to say that we're trying to be good stewards.
Ours.
Good, stop the trucks and we'll even go lower. They'll be begging to get into town.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, Dan Baker, Copac Way. Happy New Year to you all. Just a couple of things. First off, not going to go into too much about the beginning of this meeting, but one thing that sounded like there was a little bit missing. Again, communication is notoriously bad. Humanly, we are always bad. Data speaks differently. I'm just wondering, with regards to the onboarding process that you have on a borough council, I know that you have minutes, I know that you have agendas. Do you utilize things like Project Snapshot, whereby you actually have a list of all the projects that you're doing, and you can actually have a red, amber, green, or a RAC report that kind of shows the actual status of each individual item? So at a very high level, you can look at something, see that it's in a green status, and that is okay. Amber, there's going to be a slight delay, and obviously red, there's an issue. When you drill down further, you can get more concise information. I speak as a project manager. So it sounds like right from the get-go, information is in a pipeline and it's clogged. My job is to make sure I get from A to B in the quickest amount of time and the least amount of money. So just speaking from a professional level, I think there's steps in your processes that can be improved. So that's a suggestion. I don't know if you do that. That's something that from the beginning of this meeting doesn't sound like it's working 100%. So I think we can all agree with that. Second part is, the other reason I'm primarily here is I did attend the meeting in November for the permit parking for Copac. That information was collated and was disseminated to board members. Councilman Lesko, thank you very much for you actually responded to me, thanking me for the petition, and thank you again to Councilman Zaborni for meeting me at Copac. Just trying to get a sense of understanding as to a time frame that we can expect some kind of information to receive back about whether or not you will take the residents, which was, I would say, well, 100% of the people that I petitioned, they said no. And I think there was 4 houses in the development that I couldn't get an answer from. One was an abstention because she works for the council, and I'm okay with that. However, every other person there voted no to the permit parking. So I'm looking to find out when I'm likely to receive some kind of information back on how that's progressing.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, please answer, because I was obviously not on council at the time, so I did not get the information.
Sure, so neither did I. So that was just my point of clarification. So if it was sent to me, I've missed that email.
Forgive me, I only sent it to council members.
Okay, so if someone could send it to me, and I will make sure that it goes to the police department for their review, and then
hand delivered, signed a scanned copy to the front desk of the police station.
Okay, again, well, you've raised a very good point. There is a lack of communication apparently. So I will connect with the police department and then engage with them on their review of that. And then we will go back to the governing body and they will deliberate on the findings of the police department.
Okay, and finally, speaking about the police department, this is a suggestion. Can you take down you need to have a transparent window. It feels very impersonal when you go to a police station and you're being talked to through a microphone and you cannot see the person on the other side. I speak as a former police officer who worked in many front desks in many police stations back in London. Now, have the protector screen, absolutely, you need that, unfortunately in this day and age. But having that screen, isn't it the old army cliche? like a sign of respect is removing your sunglasses when you talk to somebody so you can see them in the eye. That to me is disrespectful. There's nothing safety element there. It's a sign of impersonality and disrespectful. And I don't agree with having that. That's a suggestion. I just feel that's not the way to go. And with that, I thank you for your time. Good evening.
Thank you. We could look into that. Thank you.
Close it? Make a motion to close the public portion?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Make a motion to adjourn?
Second it?
All in favor?
Aye.